Hello and welcome to this Macbeth webinar for Year 10 and Year 11. Today we're focusing on Banquo and quotations that reveal his character linked to the key themes of the play, and quotations with which we can analyse using subject terminology. Now, Banquo, as you know, is Macbeth's best friend, and he's a wise counsellor. He's so wise that in Act 1 he gives some very good advice. That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown. Besides the Thane of Cawdor, but 'tis strange, and oftentimes to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles, to betray us in deepest consequence. So in Act 1, Scene 3, he had no idea that the witches in Act 1, Scene 1 had an evil plan to ensnare Macbeth. And he doesn't realise that his words are so accurate. He says that the instruments of darkness tell us truth to win us to our harm. They are malevolent. They're trying to trick us and trip us up. And he's advising his friends that they will betray him with honest trifles, so parts that seem honest. And we see that in Act 4, when Macbeth sees the witches and they give him honest trifles, partly honest, but most of it not honest. So he's a wise advisor, and he says, beware, be careful in Act 1 to his best friend. However, by Act 3, when the king is dead and when Macbeth has become king, he sees things a little more carefully. He becomes more insightful and even distant. And he has a soliloquy, a solo speech, where he says this about Macbeth, or to Macbeth almost. Thou hast it now, King, Cawdor, Glamis all, as the weird women promised, and I fear thou play'st most foul for it. So that's Scene 1. So he sees that his friend has incredibly fortunate. Fortune has moved in many ways for him, but he does not believe that there hasn't been foul play. He believes that murder has been used for Macbeth to gain his own way, and he distances himself from Macbeth, so much so that Macbeth wants to make sure that he attends the royal banquet, and he distances himself and he goes on a ride with his son. Now, during that ride in Act 3, Scene 3, which is a very long scene, we see that he is assailed or attacked by hired murderers. So, oh treachery, fly, good flayance, fly, 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 thou mayest revenge, oh slave. So you can see here that he understands that he has been attacked by Macbeth. He sees here that his own son may well avenge his murder. He sees before he dies that he will be dying, and he hopes that his son can avenge his murder. So even though he's in the midst of an attack, he can see where it's originated from. That's Macbeth. And then in Act 3, Scene 4, he comes back in as an avenging ghost. So although he doesn't have much to say, his presence is powerful and speaks volumes. And it's Macbeth whose words show the power of Banquo's appearance as a ghost in Act 3, Scene 4. Macbeth says, thou canst not say I did it, never shake thy gory locks at me. We can see that as the ghost, Banquo is accusing his friend and showing him, although no one else can see him, that he will publicly have to account for his murder. Macbeth also says, avaunt and quit my sight, let the earth hide thee, thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold, suggesting that the vision itself is horrific. Thou hast no speculation in thy eyes, which dost glare at me. You've got that contrast between eyes that glare, but they can't see. It's that sense of judgment that Banquo brings to the play. I hope that's helped you understand the wise, insightful, and vengeful character of Banquo. Thank you for joining me, and see you next time.